we've learned from so many of our experts over the years that the brand name means nothing. It's all the same chemicals and whatever, like ingredients, I should say. Chemical has a negative connotation to it, but it's all the
There
same
are
ingredients.
chemicals, though.
Yeah. But it like kind of has to be, I think.
I love
We're here for our
your goggles.
summer safety episode. I figured it was only appropriate. I can
wish
wear
I
these
brought something
for about 8 more seconds because they're cutting off my circulation because they are my 3-year-old daughters. But, oh, man. I was really hoping for like the kind where it goes over your nose and I had like a tube coming out, but I couldn't find those.
Like the snorkel attachment.
Like a snorkel. Yeah.
So I was never a big fan of the nose coverage. It just like freaked me out. Did you ever actually go scuba diving before?
No.
So I did it once at the Atlanta Aquarium where they have like, I don't know what kind of whales they are. I'm not going to make a dicky bird out of myself and say something, but you just swim along the top perimeter of the tank. So you're basically just like face down in the water. You're not like diving at all.
Can we look at this right now?
It looks like you have one of those like JoJo Siwa bows in or whatever the bows you make out of hair. So I was literally just face down in the water, like floating at the top. I was not really going down at all. The concept of breathing underwater into the mask it put me out of my body and my heart was racing. I always liked the non-nose coverage. And as a contact wearer since 5th grade, maybe, I feel personally victimized and belittled and degraded and discriminated against by the kids who can open their water or their eyes underwater. Yes, because my contacts would float away.
I know. That used to be my jam. I used to be able to just do that. Of course, you would wreck your eyes and you would be bloodshot for like days. But it was
like
just
this afterwards.
You felt like a fish. Like you felt you had superpowers because you could do that. I also have like a slight allergy to chlorine. I've never actually been tested for this, but like it's a definite thing where I feel almost like I have like a sinus infection after I've been in the pool all day.
Oh, wow.
And so like some of my finest memories of summer like as a kid, we lived two doors down from my aunt's house who had the pool and was always like the family gathering place. So like eating a popsicle, dragging my towel behind me, like the grasshoppers like just coming out at sunset and just feeling awful.
Do you mean the lightning bugs?
Physically, because I'd been wrecked. Yeah, the lightning bugs too. And the chlorine had just wrecked me all day, but feeling like so content. And what a fabulous day. What a fabulous summer day that was.
When did you stop swimming in the pool? Like head under, like
when did I stop swimming? I haven't. I live in Florida. I'm still continually swimming. Sienna's at a really great age. She's 3, almost 3.5 now. She can fully swim. She can like swim the length of the pool, goes under, will stop, get her head up for air and go back under and keep going. So I like play with her in the pool. Like we do games and we're underwater and we're like going underwater with goggles on and like doing little things with each other. Like she's fun to play with in the pool. I become a kid again in the pool.
Okay, I do have a follow-up summer safety question to that point, but like from the time you were a 28-year-old woman until 2 years ago when Sienna was like not going in the pool, were you still doing handstands and flipping your hair like George Washington?
I mean, if I'm around the right people, of course. I'm not going to do that at like a hotel in Miami, but get me and my best friends at a pool together. Sure.
So you like wet your hair with chlorine water all the time?
So no, like I'm definitely judicious about that. But in Florida, I feel like it's a lot harder. Like to just, I've learned that like your hair's just going to get messed up no matter what kind of thing. You're going to be outside. You're going to be sweaty. You're going to be working out. You're going to do whatever. Might as well just let it rip and get it chlorined and then shower after.
Especially for us who buy blonde.
Yeah.
And real. It just turns orange. Well, now everyone has saltwater pools, which actually is great.
I will say I do manipulate the system a little bit. Like when Asher first started his swim lessons and we had to go in with him, now he's been doing it for about 6 months and he's pretty good and he's like okay with the instructor, so we don't need to go in. But I used to like work the schedule with Mark on like the days that I would take him in and the days that Mark would take him in, like based on my hair wash schedule.
That was my follow-up question. So I do love that. And I see you for that. For swim lessons, what do you do? Because Jack likes to play, you know, we had like a little beach area in the pool where it's just 5 feet of shallow, 10 inches of water. So we did a swim instructor that came to the house and Jack wanted nothing to do with him. Like, he was like, no.
Yeah. So I have, like I just said about Sienna, she's a very strong swimmer. She takes direction really well. We started her when she was like 6 months old. We are around water all the time. So we felt very strongly about sticking with it and keeping her in it because we wanted her to feel safe. I know we want to talk about ISR. We did look into that. And basically just because of scheduling, like it wasn't offered in our area at the time.
That's when they just toss the baby in the pool, right?
Basically toss the baby in the pool and it's like life-saving skills. So
I wanted to do that and Eric was very against that.
I have friends that did it and loved it and it worked. And like my best friend, her baby fell into a pool when they were at somebody's party and he got himself to his back and was able to save himself and, money and time well spent. But I think where people misunderstand is they think, oh, they're going to be able to swim after that. And that's not the case.
No.
Also, like the exposure. We're very lucky that, we live in Florida. My kids are in the pool all the time. You have to it's like riding a bike. Like if you don't ride a bike every now and then, like you're going to get back on it and feel a little wonky. Your legs are going to like be like, oh, okay, I know how to do this, but I'm still trying to figure it out. So keeping that exposure is good. If there are like indoor pools in your area or clubs that you can belong to, just go maybe once a month and just have your kid go. But yes, we did the same thing where, Sienna didn't love it at first. Asher hated it. Asher, the second the swim teacher would come to the door, he would hightail it into the other room screaming his head off. But we just kept being persistent. Like you have to separate and know you're not doing this to completely torture your child. You're doing this for your child's benefit. And them screaming like is almost part of it and they will get over it and they will thank you for it.
100%. And like later down the road. Yeah. But okay, do you do swimmy vests on the kids still? Like does Sienna still have a swimmy vest?
No, we never once put her in one. And that's actually something I wanted to note. One of the teachers, I don't remember which one because, again, we've lived in many different states since she was born and we've had teachers all over. One of them had said to us, don't ever put her in one of those. If you haven't started swim lessons, fine. Once you start swim lessons, do not put them in swimmies or a jacket or whatever type of flotation device because it only hinders their ability to do it.
That's interesting.
Going back to the bike thing, it's like getting on an electric bike and being like, okay, yeah, I can ride a bike because I just like sit here. But then getting on a real bike, you're like, wait a second, I don't actually know. Oh, I had to move my feet at the same time and then I had to coordinate and you're teaching them to rely on that and that actually sharpen their skills of being able to just use their arms and legs. And it's a lot of commitment as a parent. We had to be in the pool with her at all times. We could never just be like, oh yeah, put your life jacket on and just go. But I'd say I would do it again. And we're going to do the same thing with Asher because I've seen how it helped Sienna develop so much faster.
But she's not still in swim lessons. She's fine.
She is still in swim lessons just to continue her skills. Like now she's learning how to do handstands and she's doing a backstroke and she's learning different types of strokes and stuff. Almost just like for fun. The teacher is kind of like, I have to like think of new games and things to do with her when she's here. It's nice to just give her that like structured hour too.
Does she dive for those like sinking torpedoes that you used to throw in the pool? Are those still a thing? Okay, so she does dive to get those. There are a lot of posts circulating now that we are in summer, and this has been for the last couple of months, in the more natural corner of Instagram that I stick my toe in all the time, about chlorine and the effects that it has on your skin and on your body, because obviously the biggest organ in your body in the chlorine all day. So there is a homemade spray that a lot of people are making to neutralize the chlorine, and they just put it in a spray bottle and spray their kids down. It's like sodium bicarbonate. I'll find a recipe and we'll post it. But literally they're just like, let me see. They're just like spraying their child down.
What does it do?
Neutralizes,
like after or before
no,
you go in?
Before.
Oh.
When chlorine is combined with other things like sweat, urine, hair, skin, makeup, blah, 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 it releases a harmful chemical known as a haloacetic acid, or an HAA. I prefer that. They're linked to a host of problems, including cancer, asthma, liver damage to the nervous system, hormonal disruption, congenitive disability sites, skin, eye, throat irritation. Obviously, you're not going to spray the sodium in your eye.
Yeah.
Sodium. But I mean,
I think about it. It's got to be an irritant to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And I've been thinking about that. I've been saying Sienna has respiratory issues, and there's part of me that's like, is it because she's in pools or exposed to water all the time? Like, who's to say that's not doing it?
Right. I mean, I'll find a it's an at-home make your own DIY. So I'll find a recipe for that and we'll post it. That's one aspect. The other thing that I think of often is sunscreen. And there are so many people that are waking up to US sunscreens. And that's the problem, is how many times have you gone on vacation? How many times have you had like an impromptu swim session where you're like, just give me whatever you have, and you're using like whatever sunscreen, buying whatever is in CVS.
I'm really bad. And even living in Florida, it's been pounded in me about making sure that I have it on my face all the time. So I am better at that. But like, the skin on my face is no different than the skin on the rest of my body. Every single inch of me should be protected, and I am not doing a good job of that. And I actually was thinking that as I was prepping for this show, and I'm like, this needs to be like some type of May resolution for me to really this summer be more conscious of that. Even just like the longevity of your skin and like the texture of it, and the the crepiness they call it, that it can protect. And then your kids too. I have said, if there's anybody out there that can help me with this invention, I really want there to be some type of like archway that you can just go through. It's like a tubing system, and you just walk through it. So is this like a
spray tan for sunscreen?
Correct. Why haven't we done that yet?
Because people don't care, and people want to be tan, and we're still millennials, and we had memberships to tanning beds.
I proudly, never once in my life did I go into a tanning bed.
I remember in high school, I would always tan because I would get like chest acne and back acne. And so for prom, I would always want, a tan, obviously, but it would dry up all my acne. Cause my mom never wanted to put me on any of like the crazy oral medications. And I wasn't really consistent with my Proactive, and that stuff doesn't work anyway. So anyway, I digress, but they used to be the 20-minute beds, and you'd always want to go to the max amount, but you never knew when they replaced the bulbs, and you never knew how hot they were. But I would always fall asleep in them. My mom would be like banging on the door when she'd come pick me up. But I remember in college when you'd buy the pack, and you'd have to like beg your dad. I'm like, Dad, please, it's $250, but you get like 10 sessions, and they're normally $30 a piece. And it's like 8, 10, 12 minutes is the max. And these were the super booster beds. The whole lobby of the place was like every sorority girl I knew at Villanova waiting for a spot to go get tan. And this was just all year. Those were the good old days.
Would you come out of it just like immediately being tan, or did it have to like build
the booster
over?
The booster ones. And then you could get the chemical ridden creams that were booster ones. And usually it was like a Jersey Shore, like this is the Snooki cream and it works extra. Yeah. I never did the Playboy Bunny rabbit sticker on the bottom of my hip. I never partook in that tomfoolery. But you would be tan after like 2 sessions in that bed.
So there's been a lot over recent years, obviously trying to do away with this. Apparently they still exist. I actually giggle to myself every time I see them down here in Florida. I'm like, what? Why do you need?
You can go outside for free.
Yeah. Why are you paying for this? But, and people how addictive they have become, or how addictive they were to people, people really comparing it to smoking cigarettes and using the tanning bed. Did you feel that? Did you feel almost an addiction or like a dopamine hit from doing it?
For me personally, I speak from my personal experience, and I think a lot of women our age would agree with me. I have had body dysmorphia my entire life. Still do, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely starting to embrace it. I think it's better that I'm talking about it. But if you can't tone it, tan it. Didn't Honey Boo Boo tell us that? So you do feel better when you're tan. I feel like I feel like I look prettier when I'm tan. There's something about when my eyelids are tan, I feel like my eyes look prettier. It's a very weird thing, but I guess it's the contrast with my green eyes. With the tanning beds, I don't like sweating, Gianna. I don't like sweating when I work out. I don't like sitting outside and sweating. When you're tanning outside, it is a commitment. I mean, you are outside, you are drenched in sweat. There's a pool behind your back. Like, it's disgusting. So I think as Americans, we want things now. We want things 5 minutes ago, and we want things fast. So if you can go get a tan fast and it only takes 5 minutes, I mean, we don't have the ability to slow down. And we talk about that a lot on the podcast. And that is the biggest selling point, even in Florida when it's free outside.
So we have a couple other sunscreen safety stuff that we want to get through on this part. And then after, I do want to tell you about the perfect drops that you can use to get that sun-kissed tan.
Ooh.
This hasn't been run by
Do you
Kacie.
like a spray tan?
No, I've never done that either.
Oh,
That's not true. I did it once.
I hate them. I feel like you start peeling everywhere. Not all spray tan trends are the same. My sister loves them. She literally lives for them. And I'm like, this is gross. I hate this. But keep going. What did you not run by me yet?
I didn't run by this product that I'm going to shout out today. So I'm not sure if it passes the Kacie Hosmer smell test of cleanliness on toxins, but you'll see. Anyway, so
I have to wait.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about the rest of sunscreen first, and then our listeners have to stick around for that.
Have you ever seen the Buddies, like the sunscreen? I'm using Eric's podcast setup. Literally, look at my screen. Let's see if I get closer.
I can't. It's just showing up white to me.
I know. I'm trying to show it. Okay, it's called Buddies sunscreen thing, and it has like a yellow knob at the top.
Yes, and then you take it off, and it's like a
roller.
sponge, and you roll it. Yes,
it doesn't work.
Love them. Sienna loves it. I will say my complaint with them is that it's still messy. It's just
I don't think it works. It
messy
works
on your hands. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I also use Baby Badger sunscreen on Jack because it's clean and it has more natural ingredients, and that is
I've never heard of
certified.
That. Okay.
Baby Badger.
Okay.
All their products are really great. It's like goopy and thick, but I like it the best on him. I actually kind of like the smell too. So that's what I use on him. But what do you use on yourself?
Honestly, I just I like Kula. I got turned on to that. Their face one is phenomenal. It's like very cooling. It actually like smells a little like Play-Doh. So there's like a little nostalgia in it too, which I really like. Goes on really clear. Doesn't feel like too filmy. So that I use on like a boat day. I don't know why I have like a different type of scenario, just because I feel like it does like cool my face, and it like, I don't know. I don't know. The feeling of it to me is like, okay, this means I'm going to be outside and sweating. And on like an everyday basis, I use Shiseido. You can get it at Sephora. Okay. And it's pretty light, as really effective, I feel. I really have done well with not getting like melasma or dark spots. All of my spots on my skin are more so caused from the cystic acne that I have from hormones, not from sun exposure. So that has done well. And then I just like grab what CVS has to offer. That's the one thing I wanted to say here. Like, we've learned from so many of our experts over the years that the brand name means nothing. It's all the same chemicals and whatever, like ingredients, I should say. Chemical has a negative connotation to it, but it's all the same ingredients.
Chemicals, though.
Yeah. But it like kind of has to be, I think.
So here's a great resource for you. And this is where, and I said this before, how many times as a mom are you on vacation? You have to go to the sundry store and pay $35 for a tube of sunscreen, and you're limited to what they have on their shelves. Now, what is it? Australian Gold? Is that what it is? Like, I am still a sucker for that smell. Like, smell
that doesn't surprise
somebody aerosol
coming right out
spraying
of
that at the pool, and you're like,
right? Yeah. No, that to me is like 90s. Like
2000s,
the high slit bathing
Brazilian.
suits up the side.
Love them.
Yeah, like the person next to you is just brown as can be, and
like a Louis Vuitton bag. There is a Louis Vuitton bag of a person sitting right next to you, and you are like, "Damn, girl, I see you."
I can smell it and see it at the same time. You just activated all of my senses at once. I could taste it as well. I know.
Core memory activated. So there's a great resource, and this goes for most baby products, household cleaning products. It's not really makeup. It's more so, I don't know, like health products. So sunscreen is on there. Go to ewg.org. EWG certified is going to be the cleanest, the best, the hardest certification for these companies to get. And you can go on, literally just Google EWG certified sunscreens. And I'm seeing Think Sport, Attitude. Attitude is a great brand across the board. Hand soaps, cleaning products. I just bought their
them for like
body
the
wash.
Baby detergent. Yeah.
Yes, baby bottle wash. Attitude again. Well People, Think Sport, Beauty Counters.
Okay, let me ask you a question though. So you've used these clean brand sunscreens?
I haven't, because I also dabble in the far corners of Instagram where they say stop being afraid of the sun, because
oh my God.
Listen, I know that you can't listen. You can't go down to Mexico and be the color of this pillow and not wear any sun protection. I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is an overwhelming percentage of the population is vitamin D deficient. Deficient.
Yes.
Deficient with a D.
I am vitamin D deficient.
Correct. So you get vitamin D from the sun. Obviously, you should be taking supplements. I take a really, really great vitamin K D supplement when I'm not pregnant because I can't do pills now. Anyway, Mary Ruth actually has a great vitamin D supplement. I think. I don't know which one I take, whatever. Anyway, I don't lather myself every single time in sunscreen. Again, like I know my audience. When we went to Cabo in January, I was putting on sunscreen. But sometimes, and I check the UV index. I have this app called Climb, CLIME, way better than the weather app. And it tells you the UV index every single day, every single hour. So that's what people don't worry about how hot it is outside. Look at the UV index. It could be 60 degrees and it could be 8.
But also that can backfire because people are like, oh, the UV index is low. Like I don't need to put anything on. Really, rule of thumb is you should be putting something on every single day. Cloudy or not, sunny or not, there should be something on.
Another thing you don't think of.
With you. I don't think that people should be shying away.
Oh, wait, one thing on sunscreen.
Like, yes.
You need to wear sunscreen when you're flying. People don't realize that. How much closer are you to the sun?
Oh, Jesus.
See? Right?
Right. So this is why I'm saying, why isn't this more a part of our routine? Like, why isn't it like in the way that you put on body lotion, you just put on
because people like being tan. Because if you don't drink water all day, you're going to fall over.
It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm not putting my sunscreen on today because I want to be tan just doing my errands. Like, I don't think of it like that, but I guess like from what I'm hearing, you really.
What? Anytime I'm like accidentally in the sun and get tan, I'm like, who, me?
I know. I know.
Oh, okay. Anytime I go like this and there's a line, I am
success.
I'd love to thank everyone who helped me get to this point.
So a few things to know about sunscreen. We just hit on one of them, that you need it, period. Mic drop, you need it. That's it. Sunny or not. SPF 30 or higher is recommended. And
that should be the
pretty
bar.
much
yes.
After 50, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing.
I thought you meant after 50 years old. just don't worry about it.
The SPF, it's all marketing. I've learned.
Yes, and you're right.
Want to look.
Yes,
we learned from Dr. Sadie, and I this was pounded in my head from her years ago. She's fantastic. She was on like our second episode that we ever did. So if you want to go back and listen to that, she's a board certified dermatologist. She recommends you have to look for it being broad spectrum protection, UVA and UVB rays. Majority of what you see on the market nowadays does cover that, but make sure, if you're going after some of these different alternative kinds, that this is what they're offering you, a broad spectrum protection. And you want to make sure you're reapplying every 2 hours. The rule of thumb is a shot glass. The amount that you should be applying all over your body is a shot glass worth of lotion, which we didn't talk about. Are you a lotion or spray girl?
I'm so sorry to all the environmentalists, but I will take an aerosol.
Same.
12 days out of 10.
Same.
like it gets under your nails and it gets in your hands, and it's especially on
I
children,
just always
especially
feel like
on
I'm
moving
missing.
children.
So with children, they do recommend that you're supposed to do the lotion because it is a lot easier to like miss a spot with the spray. Whereas with the lotion, you're physically seeing the whiteness go on. Remember, wasn't there like colored lotion at one point too?
Yes. And you had to like wipe it until it like wasn't a color anymore. It would be like blue and pink. The other thing is, do you judge people who use the spray on and then rub it in? Like,
no, because I do
that. That never crossed my mind. I'm like, I'm spraying it on. It's on. Like people that spray and then rub it. Never. I would never. I have this one sunscreen that sprays on white. So you do have to rub it in.
Yeah.
But like the whatever, Australian Gold. What's the other one? I'm like, Beach Bum. What is it? Or Bum Bum. What's the one with the monkey? That one smells so good. The yellow one. Sun Bum. That one smells so good. I don't rub that in. Hell no.
No, I always do a spray and then I rub it in.
Just like a swipe. Not like you're not there like.
No, I'm just making sure it gets all of the areas, and then I still
the undercarriage, everything.
I still miss a ton of areas.
So Supergoop, I'm looking up on EWG.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? Go ahead.
So I'm looking up a glow oil that I use by them, SPF 50, which I really like. I love an oil sunscreen. I think it's amazing. It reminds me, it's reminiscent of the SPF 5 oils that we used to use back in the 2000s. Right. But this says it has health concerns, some cancer, some allergies, and immunotoxicity, low concerns for reproductive toxicity, moderate concerns for use restrictions, moderate for UVA balance. I don't know what that means, but I don't know.
I'm going to get deep for a second and then we're moving on. But like, this is what just like makes my brain explode about this whole trying to be clean and toxic free journey in general, is that you're here trying to protect yourself from one negative, being the sun and sun damage and sun cancer and skin cancer. And then you're bringing on this other negative of all the toxins that might be in the thing that's trying to protect you. So I'm like, I just feel like it's very hard. And I'm sure if I wanted to commit all of my time to it, like some of the people that do, and good for you if you are, I don't have a problem with you living your life that way. I just I can't live every minute of my day trying to get rid of every single toxin, every single thing that's bad, because I just feel like it's so widespread. And how are you supposed to take care of one thing and then you're hitting another thing? And then they're like, it's just everywhere. It's everywhere.
Well, look, as I drink my water, my plastic water bottle, as the mother of the house, in our situation, and I think in your situation, you are buying most of the food, most of the cleaning products, most of the clothes, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. When I can, I try to buy, buy cotton clothing, 100% cotton, 100% linen. GOTS certified, GOTS certified cotton is great for bed sheets or for towels or for clothes, the things that you're wearing all the time. With my cleaning products, I'm trying to switch all to Attitude cleaning products because they're healthier for you. I can't get behind vinegar. It makes me sick. I spray Jack's tub down with rubbing alcohol. I have it in a spray bottle. That's how I clean Jack's tub at night. I am doing the things that I can control. Let's talk about furniture. There's probably flame retardants in them. There's dyes. There's this, there's that, synthetic materials. I'm not making myself crazy and buying a crusty, crunchy couch that looks ugly. Yeah. Like there are things that you aren't going to bend or break with, and just pick the things you want to do.
Do your best.
And do it. Yeah. Yes. And the EWG website is a great resource to run things through. If you're like, oh, I'm out of Clorox, let me see what I want to do. Just go do it. But don't make yourself nuts. Interesting. Because I also have friends who are so crunchy. My friend Yene, she's like, no, I need bleach in my bathrooms. Like that's where I draw the line. Like there will be bleach in my toilets, which I do believe that.
Yeah. So, all right, we spent a lot of time on sunscreen, but we needed to. It's super important. There's a lot to go over there. So try to make sure you're really getting on that this summer. And again, I am vowing to be better with it. I know it's an area where I can improve for both myself and my children.
Well, they grow legs too. You buy them and then they're gone.
Oh, yeah. I have them everywhere. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated this summer. I know. This is a thing. Okay, there's signs of heat exhaustion is big. It's real. There's dizziness, muscle cramping, weakness, nausea, basically everything that you get while being pregnant anyway. So get ready for a summer of heat exhaustion, Case. But stay hydrated. So maybe not in a Stanley, because I'm just like, can't see another one of those, but make sure, they're not really that bad of an idea. Make sure you're getting something that is a good big water container for both you and your children, and just like put that into your everyday life too, that you wake up in the morning, you're putting your sunscreen on, you're filling up that water jug, and you're heading out the door to do whatever you need to do. It is really important. And then
just pee in the pool if you have to pee. You don't have to go back in the house. Just pee in the pool. It's fine. How do you feel about that? Do you pee in your? You can pee in your own pool.
Don't do it.
Yes, I'm peeing in my pool. If I have you over, I'm not peeing in my pool. But if it's just me, I'm peeing in my pool.
I'm not doing it. So what's funny is I had to like break Sienna out of the habit because I let her get away with it once and she did not forget. We were in Mexico in the winter.
How do you know? Do you have that color changing stuff like
no, because she
super
asks
parks
me.
Have?
No, she asks me. So listen, we're in the resort pool, and she's like, I have to go pee pee, and I'm like, oh my god, it is like so far to the nearest bathroom. Like, just go swim over there, and you can go pee pee right here. And she's like, oh, like right here, mommy, and like literally like squats and goes. So then we get back home, and she's like, can I pee pee right here? And I'm like, no. Oh, I forgot the other thing. Then she goes, a few minutes later, she goes, what section of the pool can I poo poo in? And I'm like, no. Like for that, we have to get out.
We can't have any floaters.
So then I get home and she's like, okay, mommy, can I pee pee in the pool now? And I'm like, no, you have to get out. She's like, but you let me pee pee before. And I'm like, well, that was like at a different
Somebody
pool.
else's
And that was
pool.
that was a one-time thing. So
do you remember how they used to tell us though that some resorts and some parks had the color changing chlorine, that if you peed.
I know. Is that real? Has anybody ever experienced that?
I've never seen it in my life. In all my days, have yet to see that.
I used to read.
You're such a narc. They're going to be like, Mrs. Simon has the color changing chlorine, and Bobby was there swimming last week, and she told him he can't come back because he peed in the pool.
I remember. Do you remember reading like Cosmo magazine, and it would be like, oh,
Cosmo magazine is why we have this podcast, because they've wrecked us mentally. But keep going.
Well, it's like, tell us an embarrassing story about you and your crush. Ridiculous. But I remember reading a story about that where some girl said that happened, that she like was in the pool and was like trying to like be all cool and sexy, and she just like peed, and then there was like a cloud of purple that like followed her. So I don't know. If that has happened to anybody, you need to DM us immediately, and we need to confirm if it is real or not.
Wait, when you go for walks on the beach at the shore, how do you pee?
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
I'm a camel and I just hold it.
No. So like my mom and I would always be on walks, and then you go sit and you just sit on the sand, like where there's enough water that you're not going to be cold. And you just do the little pee sit. Your legs are straight out and you're just sitting up with your arms back, and you're just like
the water rushing up and then bringing it back.
Just rinses it out. The only thing I hate about the beach is getting sand in your butt.
Yeah, it's not a good,
because I'm not a water girl, so I don't want to go rinse off. Okay, so
I'll
one's allowed to pee in your pool. You don't pee at the beach.
What bothers me more than getting my hair wet in chlorine is getting like my entire body sandy at the beach.
This is why I hate the beach. I love the beach so much, but I hate the beach because I hate sand everywhere.
Yeah.
I hate it. Ugh.
So I keep seeing some things on Amazon. I might try to get one this year, but they're like similar to the Sun Buddy thing that you had just talked about. It's like this little canister that has like baby powder, I think it is, that like you just wipe on the sand and the sand just like crumbles away.
Is it like a puff? Like, does it puff on you?
It's like a puff. Like, what am I talking about? Like
a brush?
Yeah.
Do you remember that was popular a few years ago? The face sunscreen puff that was like makeup and it had glitter in it.
Yeah.
Does that work, or do you just sweat it off?
I never tried it.
Well, do you try the sand puff? The ones that always bother me are the sand repellent bracelet. I'm like, no, there's no sand repellent, or not bracelet, blanket. Sorry, Eric's getting emails.
Oh yeah. Yes.
We used to do tents for the babies to sleep in.
Yeah. I have one for Asher that I kind of want to use this year because he's not a big sand guy. So I want to talk about a few water safety things, and then we're going to move into. Oh, I never said what I wanted to say for the.
I don't think I'm going to get through the rest of this interview because you don't pee in the pool.
Well, I'm not having you over in my pool, so that invitation has been.
What did you do if you were like?
Episode.
What do you do when you're on a boat all day? Do you hang off the back and tinkle in the ocean?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Everyone knows you're peeing. Literally, you say, I'm dangling off the back. Don't turn on the motor. My butt's in the water because I am urinating.
Yeah.
And you don't have a problem with that.
Everyone knows you're peeing when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but like, so why don't you take a pee in the ocean when you're on the beach? You like walk back up to the house like a narc?
Yeah.
Just pee in your pool. I'm sure Mark does it. I'm going to text him after this. I'm going to ask him.
Oh my gosh.
Like, hey, just try to understand the dynamics of your, do you feel
Moving
safe?
on, the self-tanner drops that I recommended that I said are fantastic. I tried these for my wedding and I turned like my entire bridal party onto it. I turned so many of my friends onto it. They used it for their weddings. It's called the Isle of Paradise. I probably turned you onto it as well.
They're the best. It's truly the best.
They smell
Except
phenomenal.
your fingers afterwards. You have to wash your hands.
You have to wash your hands. Yes. But they smell phenomenal. They're like very concentrated. It's a beautiful glowing, not orange at all.
What color do you use? Very important.
I use the green.
I mix medium and dark. I do a cocktail of medium and dark. But I think the green is
the medium. Green is the medium.
Yeah.
You take drops of them, put them in your regular lotion, and use it all over your body like a regular lotion. I don't really do my full body. I use it for my face. Because my face is the one that I really,
That always gets missed.
My face is the thing that I really try to keep away from the sun.
Do you do your ears? Your ears. Yes, that's a big.
Not like in it. I just kind of like.
You have to go in it. You have to go in the ears.
Yeah. Anyway, you can find that at Sephora, Ulta, anything. They're fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I highly recommend that. So stay the F out of the sun this summer and use these Endless Tanning Drops. Okay, water safety. This is the biggest thing I want to get to. We're going to talk about a few things here. And then I have some fun trivia for Kacie at the end of the episode. Water safety. A majority of drownings happen for children that are 1 to 4 during non-swimming times. When parents are off guard, when parents are not watching, because they don't think that they need to be because the kid's not swimming, but it's when like there's not a pool involved, but it's when they're at homes that have fountains or ponds or there's like a baby pool. And yeah, maybe you're not there to go swimming that day. So the kid's not in a bathing suit and doesn't think it's supposed to. So like you're just over there focusing on the hamburgers. But
so you're saying it's a mental switch.
Yes. Yes. Like if you just don't think you need to be like activated for that, but you do, like whenever you go to somebody's house for a barbecue or for a hangout in the summer, survey your surroundings. What's going on outside? Is there like a stream in their backyard? Is there, maybe not their backyard, but the neighbor's backyard has a baby pool set up and you need to make sure that you're watching your child doesn't migrate over there. So that was really jarring, I think, for me. And I think like a really good point of reference that we have so many pools in Florida. Every single person that I know has a pool pretty much. So like when you go to a house, you're like, oh, they have a pool. If we get to one that doesn't, you're like, oh, this is nice. Okay. We can kind of just like relax. They're not near the pool, but there might be other dangers that you're not necessarily thinking of.
Have you gone down the rabbit hole of colors of swimsuits?
That was the next thing I wanted to talk about. I knew that you would talk about it. It's fascinating to me. I think you're the person that brought this up to me, and I've never considered this once.
No,
especially having a boy. Like, what do you do for Jack? Everything I have is blue. So first, go. I
don't practice what I preach. Yeah, but it says
explain what you're talking about.
I can't show it because this camera doesn't pick it up. But it says which colors work best for open water and pools. So a lake is obviously a very different color than a swimming pool. The ocean can be a ton of different colors. I mean, we love the Jersey Shore, but it's pretty dirty. It's not crystal clear Bahamas water. So really it's like neon colors that you're looking for. Yes. In open water, bright neon colors, including orange, yellow, and lime green fared best. Pools were a bit more forgiving overall, but it was pointed out by the testers that although darker colors show up in a light pool bottom, they can often be dismissed as a pile of leaves, dirt, or a shadow. So everyone's pool is a different color.
Now there's this trend of darker pools. I have a friend that has a black bottom pool. Our bottom is like a little like tannish, brownish of like pebbles mixed together. So the concept here obviously being the color of the bathing suit is going to help you indicate if a child is stuck underwater or in distress or like how are you going to notice if someone's laying at the bottom of the pool?
Right.
And that is just not something I'd
ever
considered before.
No, you literally think this bathing suit's cute. That one's not. We're wearing this bathing suit. That's what you think.
If anything, I'm thinking about the sun protection and okay, something with long sleeves.
This one has a hat.
And then if it's long sleeves, is there snaps at the bottom that I can get her out of the, to go potty quickly, because she does use the bathroom and not the pool water.
She's not feral like her Auntie Kacie.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm not going to pee. Listen, I'm not going to come over to your house and pee in your pool. But if I'm at my house by myself, I'm peeing in the pool.
Fine.
I am.
Fine.
But I'm not going to pee on.
If we lose thousands of listeners because you're just a disgrace in your own pool, then you know what? So be it.
We won't lose listeners. They just won't invite me over for a cookout. It's like, this is a non-swimming party.
I bet you it's very divided. We should do a social poll on this. Do you pee in the pool? Hard-hitting topics here at Mother Up.
Tell us right now.
So the next part of this, now that we just got off of this with the neon colors for the pool, you want to do the opposite in the ocean, because the sharks are attracted to the contrast. And that's what they can see are the neon colors. So if you're
the sharks are coming to get us now. I mean, literally, they've been kept at bay for a while, but there have been a lot of shark attacks, especially up in the Northeast.
So are the alligators down here. Let's talk about that. So you wanted to say about like being in the pool as a kid, like going underwater, doing the handstands, doing the George Washington hair flip. What was your relationship with the ocean when you were younger? Because I was in it for hours at a time, and now I cannot even fathom going past my shoulders in like
past your shoulders. Are you you are a psycho
water?
You are like sociopath serial killer. Wow. Why? If Dateline ever has me interviewed and you don't even know the person, I'm going to be like, check out Gianna Simon. She goes into the dark Jersey Shore ocean up to her shoulders. They'll be like, oh my God, thanks for the lead. Here's 500 grand.
The Jersey Shore, I won't go in probably past my knees.
Okay. I don't like not being able to see the bottom. I want to know what's going on. But when I was younger,
I need to know what I'm swimming with.
But I was a boogie board kid. We would go to Hoy's in Avalon, and we would get a new boogie board. But you'd wait for the sandbar. So you were probably only in the deepest when you were going to the sandbar. If you weren't like paddling, was maybe like your waist or like right under your boobs.
But I would do it just fearlessly. I had no thoughts of there being other creatures in the water.
Never.
Now I like,
No, I don't partake. I like to look. I love a good ocean view, but I don't.
I wonder though, it's like, if it's like knowing what we know now, if it's going to hinder our ability to rest when our children do it.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's why a lot of times, listen, I know we need men to have children, but like a lot of times that's why you get married, so that the dad goes in with them because they're big and strong and not scared of fish. I remember I had to do a Monsters Across America episode for Fox Nation, and they wanted me to jump off the boat into the ocean next to this ghost ship that just like cruises through the panhandle area. A fish touched my leg, and you would have thought that I got stabbed by Poseidon's pitchfork. Mm-hmm. What is it called? Mm-hmm. Trident. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make a point, and now I don't remember. Oh, how do you feel about water shoes on grown-ups?
I actually saw a really cute pair the other day. They almost look like a glass slipper.
I knew you were going to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wear them.
No, I'm talking black Speedo water shoes with the tab in the back that you slip on.
Oh,
like, what if you wear them in the pool? Like, how do you feel if you're having a party and Jim from down the street shows up with Billy and Susie and he's going in the pool with Mark, and why did I just get a thumbs up? That was weird. And he goes in the pool with Mark, but he's like, oh, wait, 1 minute. Forgot my water shoes. It straps on a pair of water shoes in your pool.
I don't think they're necessary in the pool. I think they are.
Well, what if you have like the pebble bottom and it's a little rough on his tootsies?
They could be argued for the ocean. I actually think I would probably enjoy myself a lot more in the ocean if it was more like
some beaches are very shelly. Like some beaches, it's like kind of
the
like you're
shells
walking on
I don't
knives.
care about. It's just like putting my foot down and not knowing what I'm stepping on, and God forbid something like grabs me. I just no.
But you're not inviting Jim back to the pool if he wears his water shoes to the party.
I'm gonna talk about Jim with you later and tell you what I observed.
Do you remember the tide pools at the Jersey Shore that you'd find, and it'd just be like warm sitting bacteria water, but you'd like
that was gross. Yeah, it was
I'd
probably
play in them all the
warm
time
because you and Michelle just went by and just peed it in.
I wouldn't pee in the tide pools. No, I'm better than that. Probably when I was little, I'd probably pee because I was a baby. But no, as a grown up, I only pee in the ocean where there's constant movement and flow.
Before we get into the trivia, tell us what your summer plans are, Kacie.
We are going to Nantucket for 2 weeks, and I am so excited.
Nice. I know. I'm so sad we're going to miss each other.
Yeah, we're going over June to 4th of July. What, you guys go at the end of July?
We go like a week later after you.
That's so rude.
I know. It's so rude.
Well, we have, for Eric's podcast, we have to go to the All-Star game, which is the next week. So I wanted to like come back to reality. 2 weeks is a long time.
Where's that?
Dallas.
Okay.
So it's just like,
so
it's a lot of moving parts. Yeah.
Okay. Will you be at the Jersey Shore at all?
We don't have any plans.
Back to where this all started. We did our first 2 episodes at the Jersey Shore.
I know people who have summer homes at the shore. The Hosmer family has not officially received any invitations from any homeowners.
It's under consideration. I will check with management.
I don't know when the save the dates go out.
This podcast will be used at the discussion table. Yeah.
I won't be in your pool. I promise.
I will be up in Jersey for 10 weeks. So if any listeners are around there and want to say, hey, we'll be there.
You go soon. June, right?
I go soon. I go 2 weeks. Yeah.
Is that a Sienna school thing or what is that?
Yeah, just during her like summer break and when most of our family will be down as well. So we'll try and get to see a lot of family in Philly.
No, that's what I mean. When does she finish with school? Like, why aren't you there today, right now?
Oh, because she still has school.
Okay,
and like not that it matters because she's in preschool and she's not going to like miss a college exam if she doesn't go. But this is our home now, so we kind of drug it out a little.
Yeah. How are you doing with the heat down there?
It is toasty. It is toasty, but you just know, like you just learn to, I'm not going to go for a walk at certain hours, or I'm going to bring a sweater with me because it's going to be grossly cold in a lot of places because they're pumping up the air conditioning.
That's the problem. Yeah. Yes. So you're going to Jersey, you're going to Nantucket.
Mm-hmm. What else? And then I'm going to the Hamptons for a weekend with my college friends, which I'm super pumped for because it is a mommy moon to the fullest. I think at this point, like all but one of us are moms and or pregnant, and we are all getting away for the weekend and being together and just getting back to our usual chaos, and I cannot wait for it.
When are you going to the Hamptons?
Have a weekend like that planned for yourself this summer or this year, this is your pause this episode right now, go get a group text and go get all your girls together and make sure you do that.
When are you going to the Hamptons?
Actually, the weekend of my 5-year anniversary, which is how much I love my husband because he knew how important this group of girls is to me, that he's like, absolutely, without a doubt, go. Like, we can celebrate our anniversary at another time. So we are going to do something special for that. All right, let's round out with these trivia questions. Here will be some fun things that you can talk about at your local barbecue this summer. Kacie, we talked a lot about SPF, but what does SPF actually stand for?
Sun protective function.
Factor. Very good.
Factor.
Very good. I'll give you the full point for that. Wow. Which U.S. state has the average hottest temperature?
Average hottest temperature. New Mexico?
Nope. It is the great state of Florida, ladies and gentlemen, which is why Kacie picked up and left. In which country was the record for hottest temperature ever recorded set?
Ecuador.
Wait. No, what a guess. I thought it was somewhere in the Middle East, but it's actually the U.S. in California, Death Valley.
Oh, there we go.
Appropriately named.
Appropriately.
How many popsicles are sold annually? Are you a popsicle person?
I am. I prefer a Freezy Pop in the plastic sleeve.
The push-up. Oh my God. You were obsessed with them in your pregnancy with Jack, right? I feel like
them.
I had one at your house.
I loved them. Yes. But I discriminate against like, I don't like green. Colors. I don't like yellow. I don't love orange. I'm really like a pink, red, blue girl is where I like purple sometimes.
It's so funny. You say this whole episode is like sensory overload. I can taste the green just by you saying that.
But what greens do you like flavor wise? Like, is it a kiwi? Is it a melon flavor? Is it a green apple? If so, I need to go. I just need to go.
I don't know that much about it.
Do you do you like green apple flavored stuff? Like candy? No. Oh, thank God. Okay.
No. Oh, thank God.
My podcast was going to get canceled. All right. Popsicles sold annually in the United States of America?
Yeah.
14 billion.
Ooh, 2 billion, but good with the billion mark. I would have been like, I don't know, 1 million. Yeah, people love their popsicles apparently.
Love them.
I also would love to know what percentage of popsicles actually get
consumed. Correct.
Yeah. Or
like how many popsicles? It's like September 1st and the kids are back in school and you're like, because you can't I don't want this. You can't eat a popsicle after after Labor Day. It's just not allowed.
No, absolutely not in your white pants either. What percentage of watermelons are water?
95.
92. Kacie Hosmer, absolutely killing it today. What country has the most coastline in the world?
Australia.
Oh, that's a good guess because the whole thing is coastline, but it's actually Canada, which I find hilarious considering it's an unfortunate positioning where it's just all cold and no one thinks of going to Canada for the beaches.
Wow.
I love this one. When you're standing on the beach and you're looking at the horizon, approximately how far are you able to see?
Were you surprised by this answer?
I was not that I was surprised by this answer. It was just more like, I feel like that's something I've stood there and been like, how far am I looking? Or like, what's
is this in miles distance? Or is it in knots?
It's in miles.
50.
3.
What?
You think you can see 50 miles? Do you know how far 50 miles? Do you know that from Villanova to Philadelphia is like 20 miles? Do you think you can stand at City Hall and see Villanova?
Maybe I'm thinking of an aeroplane.
So it's like when you're standing on the beach and you look out into the horizon, like how far is the horizon? What would you have said,
Tallulah?
I would have said like half a mile.
Whatever. I'm over this. You're just jealous because I got watermelon almost right.
How long do seagulls live? Like, is this something that you've ever even considered in your life?
Well, you have to take in environmental factors.
If you would have asked me, they just repopulate each summer. There's just a new breed of seagulls every year. Like the fact that I'm sitting there and I'm like, this seagull could have been around when I was 14 years old.
Yeah. Do you know when the seagulls swarm you? And I keep going back to the Jersey Shore, and there are some seagulls that are so beautiful. Like I just always think they're boys because they're like bigger and like their feathers are perfect and like
they like went to the gym that morning before they hit the beach.
Some seagulls are ugly and some aren't. I'm gonna say 12 years,
10 to 15 years. You're nailing it. What is the average temperature outside an airplane when it's in flight?
-6 degrees.
Oh, you're so close. You forgot the 0. -60.
Oh, -60. So it's going too fast for there to be ice on it then? If it's raining?
I think that's a thing. I think that's why planes come in and they say they have to de-ice them.
That's so weird.
Yes.
Wow. That was so cute.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, we hope you have a wonderful summer. We are not going anywhere. We'll be here for you throughout it. But, Monday, Memorial Day, kicking it off. Have a great week.
And remember what today is for.
Absolutely.